Hello, it's Nell, and thank you for joining me on my patio on this lovely fall afternoon. And today is all about a houseplant that I love very much. So stick around for the care of the ZZ plant, that fabulous houseplant with the shiny glossy foliage that's tough as nails. Now, I've already done a few videos and posts on the ZZ plant, but I wanted to do a full all-out blog post on the care of the ZZ plant. Here in this video, I'm just going to cover about 5 or 6 points. So if you want the rest of the information and more information, head to the blog post. The link will be down below, and also on our website, joyousgarden.com. So how is the ZZ plant used? It's used as a tabletop plant and also as a floor plant. One of mine is a large tabletop plant, the other is a floor plant. And one is in a 10-inch pot and the other is in a 14-inch pot. And you will see both of them. And I find the growth rate on these to be moderate. They grow fairly fast here. I know some people find them to be slow growing, but that's probably in lower light. I keep mine in brighter light, which I'll get into on the next point. But it is now the end of October, and mine is putting out, both of mine are putting out a lot of new growth. So I'm going, I've heard of spring growth, but never fall growth. So this is my smaller ZZ plant here. It is approximately in a 10, maybe 12-inch pot, and it is directly planted in. And it is the offspring of my larger plant, which you're about to see right now. And here is the mother plant here, the one that I divided up. And you can see it's a little bit flatter on this side. This is the side, the right side. That's the side that I divided up more so. But it's starting to fill in. And this one has a ton of new growth on it too. But you can see how it's spreading. It takes up quite a bit of space here. But that's okay, I don't mind. So first up is exposure, which is very important for a plant. And this plant I found likes a nice bright medium light. I have them both of my plants are in bright rooms, but there's no direct sunlight. The hot light will burn them. If you have a low light, you're going to get very little new growth, and you will also get a lot of stretchy stems, thin stems that just go. Now, as you can see, this plant has a sort of a spreading form, but that comes with age. A spreading arching form, I guess I should say. So I'm going to zoom on in to make a point about exposure. I had my plants outside yesterday afternoon. We had a light rain all afternoon into the early evening, and then they were out today getting some air. It's been cloudy and sunny off and on, and right around noonish or so I realized that this plant, this leaf was starting to burn, and now it's burned. So the sun is stronger than I think at the end of October, and I didn't think it was going to hurt the plant, but well, it just hurt one leaf. You know, the plant is fine. But I just wanted to show you, I could have cut the leaf off, but you know, I just want to say that sometimes even an experienced plant person gets 1 or 2 things not quite all right. Evidence. I just wanted to show you this, so I'm going to cut this off after the video. I'm sorry, leaf. So on to watering. These plants have really thick, fleshy stems, and the leaves are a little bit on the thick side too, but this growth, all this new growth here, that's here, that there's here, that there's a lot of it coming arises out of these thick tuberous roots. And with these thick roots, these bulbs that actually tubers, you know, the roots actually come off at the tubers. The tuber is like a storage mechanism. So that combined with the fact that these hold water means that you should not overwater this plant. Watering. Now, I've done a post in a video called Houseplant Watering 101. There are some factors to consider when watering houseplants. I'll just preface this by saying that I am in Tucson, Arizona, which is very hot in the summer. It's sunny almost all year long, so I water my plants maybe a bit more than you would. Also, a larger pot is going to hold more water too. It depends on the soil. Anyway, you can read this post, but I'm going to tell you how I water my two big ones. I water them every 2 to 3 weeks in the summer, and then I water them every 3 to 4 weeks in the winter. You want to back off on the watering in the wintertime with all your houseplants. And the one important thing to know is Easy does it with the water and also, again, the hot sunlight. Fertilizing. They really don't need it as a rule, but I do worm compost and compost mine every spring. I've just done a post on that, a post and a video. I will leave the link down below. I finally did that. So, but next year I'm planning on doing the worm compost and the compost in early spring and then again in midsummer. So they get sort of a double whammy. But you can also use something like a kelp, a liquid kelp, a liquid seaweed, fish emulsion, or a balanced houseplant fertilizer, something like 5-5-5. And again, once, maybe twice, spring and summer. Don't fertilize in the winter. Plants are resting. Propagation. This plant came as a result of the division of the larger plant. I divided that plant into 3, and this is the medium-sized one that I got. And after I divided it, it was a little slow to grow and get going, but after a year, it's really going, so that's good. And the other way is by stem cuttings in water. Now, these are the 2 ways that I've done it, and these 2 leaves, which are staked here, and there's one staked here, these are ones that I rooted it in water. And there's a 3rd one in here, which I don't know which one it is because I've already taken a stake out of it. That takes a while. It took me a while, but you can hear about that in the post and also read about it. I mean, watch it and hear it in the video and read about it in the post. The link to the division and the stem cuttings in water will be down below. But both of them were successful, for me anyway. So I'll come around to the back of the plant so you can see that beautiful new growth up close. And there's some there, and there. And these are the stems that I was referring to that are the cuttings. There's one right over there too, that little stake. But because the leaves are sort of heavy and they tend to bow over or spill over, they want to fall out of the pot until they're well rooted. So now I'm going to talk about pets. Pets as in Riley cat over here enjoying an afternoon under the ZZ plant. Now, it's not listed in the ASPCA grouping of plants that are non-toxic and toxic to pets and humans, but from some things I've read, all parts of it are supposed to be toxic. This is supposed to be, the roots, the tubers, and the leaves. You are never supposed to touch it. It does have a little bit of a liquid. It's not really well, you know, it's a little bit of a sap, I guess. I forget, but it has, you know, something that comes out. I've gotten it all over me many times, and it's never bothered me. My cats don't pay any attention to plants. They don't care about houseplants, or so I'm lucky that way, but you might want to take heed because it is supposed to be toxic. How toxic, I don't know. So if you have kitty cats or dogs who like to chew plants and all that, or dig in the soil, you might want to keep it away from them just to be safe. And if you're sensitive to this sort of thing, you might want to wear gloves or wash your hands right after working with this plant. So that's all I'm going to cover in the care points here. Head over to the blog post to get the rest of the points, which will be trying to remember repotting, transplanting, pests like mealybug, pruning. There's a few other things I do that I can't think of at the moment. Oh, humidity and temperature and all that, that'll be over on the post. But speaking of humidity, I will just say that I am here in Tucson, Arizona, very hot and dry. Not now. End of October, it's a glorious 82 or 83 degrees today. But finally, yay, thank you. But mine have nary, hardly any brown tips on them at all, and they are just fine. So they are, as I said, built as tough as nails plants. They're able to withstand our dry environments in our homes. So it's a really easy one to maintain. I find this a very easy plant to maintain because I don't have to do that much to it. So, and also since I divided it just about a year and a half ago, I won't divide it again. If I do, for another 2 to 3 years. This one still has room to grow. The other one, it's growing. So there'll also be a category on the blog called Good to Know. And I'm just going to tell you one thing that's good to know is that this plant has beautiful shiny leaves, but it is naturally shiny. I don't shine it. That's one of the reasons why I put it out in the rain to get the dust off and all that if there's any dust or dirt on it. But just do not use leaf shine on your plants, especially a commercial leaf shine, because what it does is it blocks the pores, and the leaves need to breathe. This is one of the ways that the plant breathes, just like the roots need to breathe too. That's why you don't want to overwater this. And I'm just going to tell you one more thing about the ZZ plant here, is that when you buy your plant, it'll be very tight and very compact. Tight, it's like they're very dense. I'll put a picture in the blog post so you can see them in a greenhouse for sale. But over time, they do this. So you just want to make sure if you're planning on having it for the long haul, which these plants do last great for the long haul, is that you have some room for it. And in terms of size, this one is probably about maybe 2 feet tall, but it's a lot wider. And the one in my dining room is like 4 feet, but I think the average they get is about 3 feet. But mine definitely have gotten a lot wider than that. Oh, okay, Riley Cat, say goodbye. Yep, he says, nope, I don't like to eat plants. I don't want to worry about any of that stuff. So I just leave them alone. So I hope you have found this video about ZZ plant care to be helpful. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter instead of going on and on and on. So that's why I'm putting the rest of the information in the post. And I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. Now let's get out in the garden or into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video because you know what? I have a lot more videos coming your way. Thank you. Bye.